you can go ahead with your next question. I just wanted to add that.
No, I agree with you. We are like on one accord. So just to kind of get like a little bit more personal, how do you think like mental health has shown up? Let me ask first. I hate to be all up in your business. Are you in a relationship
Man,
though?
you get in my business?
Are you in a relationship?
Nah, I'm not in a relationship.
Okay. So how has it like shown up in your past relationships? Like have you ever dealt with it or have you been on the receiving end of it?
I mean, is that a real question? You already know the answer to that question. But man, like it's so crazy because people hear me now, right? Like they hear me and they I'm able to articulate these things and talk about my feelings and understand, how I was mentally affected, and I'm able to apologize and do a lot of stuff that I couldn't do before. But what they don't know is like maybe not even that long ago, a few years ago, I thought all this stuff was stupid. I was like, in my relationship, I wouldn't validate feelings. I didn't care about love languages. I felt like my way was the only way. I felt like I knew that I was the prize, that I was the catch. Because I mean, just being honest and being real, I never saw a happy relationship. Like growing up, I would see older men be married and be miserable, like want to work on their car all day because they don't want to spend time with their wife. You know what I'm saying? And men always complain and would give me advice like, boy, take your time. Like, don't be in no rush to get married. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy your life. So it was never, hey, be intentional. Know yourself, understand, you know what I'm saying? So it was never any of that. So I was terrible. Like I was trash. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you. I mean, that's just how I talk, but I just didn't know what I didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't beat yourself up for what you didn't know at the time
Right.
either.
Exactly. But I
Yeah.
learned, unfortunately, I got to this space because I kept messing up and I wanted to fix it. I kept hurting people that I loved and that I cared about. And I didn't like that I couldn't communicate. I didn't like that I couldn't express myself when that was what they were asking of me, and it hurt them when I couldn't do it. So I had to put in so much work. Like, man, I had to really, really dive deep into it so that I could be, the best partner that I could possibly be. But did I answer your question? Because I will go on
Yeah.
and
Yes,
you
yeah.
got
You answered my question, and I was gonna say that I can definitely relate to the first part of your answer because you were saying that you felt like you were the catch and you didn't care about that stuff because I have dated two men who um dealt with like anxiety and depression, and I can literally remember that, but that was like it was kind of like flip. I can remember not wanting to come home because he was so depressed. And I didn't want to like just let him go. And I like stayed in something really longer than I should have. But I just felt like he was so weak for that. Right. Like this is old me thinking. I'm like, yeah, like I don't know. Like, would you even really shoot for me if we got robbed at this point? Like, I'm like definitely like thinking he's not masculine at all or whatever. But I got older and then I realized, okay, like men have emotions and they are human beings. You know what I mean? And it's not that they don't want to communicate, they don't know how to communicate or
yeah.
whatever. So I think I think if it's a man, and it can be the same thing, vice versa. I don't really want to put gender on it, but I can say if it's a person who is struggling with those things, then the other person should be like more patient and open and just realize too, like that you can't fix a person. And I can remember saying this like here recently, like, I can't fix you, but I can support you, you
Right.
know, along the way. And I think that's what people need to realize. Like you can't fix people. That's
Right.
not your control at all. Sometimes you have to give that control to God. Say, okay, God, I trust you enough to help this person for
Yeah.
me.
Right.
You know?
Right. I want to touch on something. You know, for men, like it's really a space that we don't have as far as, I'm just not saying that it doesn't exist, but you know, women, you all have girlfriends that you can call and vent to and talk about these things. But like, especially for me being a former athlete, I was taught this since I was young. It was, boy, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better not cry. You got to be tough. And then even in the performance wise, um, it was don't talk about it, be about it. It was, oh, if I fall and I scrape, oh, don't show no weaknesses. Don't let your opponent see your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Look tough. If you tired, stand up. Don't show it. So that was embedded in me, embedded in my mind. And so just expressing any of that, talking about any of that was something that just didn't exist. Like, it was like, nah, like it didn't click, you know? So for a lot of men, it don't even click and they don't really understand. So for instance, I was in a relationship, right? And she wanted me to tell her how I felt about her. She wanted me to tell her that I loved her verbally. I would go out and buy things. I would go out and do things because in my mind, don't talk about it, be about it. And so she was like, tell me you love me. I'm like, I did. Didn't I just buy you this? Didn't I just do that for you? I am telling you I love you. But, and then it wasn't that conversation. I guess my next point is, it got to stop always being about right or wrong. Like, you got two people who come from two different families, two different family structures, you know, so the way they were raised might be different than how I was raised. Okay, so why are we spending time talking about if you right or you wrong? Why is it about right or wrong? It should be about, you say your piece, I listen to understand you. I say my piece, you listen to understand me. Then we form an understanding together where we meet and we find a common ground and then work from there. And then that, you know what I'm saying? And we can build from there because, okay, I might not agree with you, but if I listen to understand, I understand why you feel like that. I understand how you see it that way. But then it's also got to be a thing of where it's not like, okay, I understand why you see it that way, but this my way is still right. Like, no. And that's how I was. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I used to a lot of stuff, man. I manipulate something in a minute. Like, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Things that I used to do to try to get my way, but that's a whole nother, it's a whole mission.
No, I definitely agree, but I feel like it needs, like, somebody need to say it. It needs to be said, you know, because I feel like, golly, if I only knew what I know now and how to approach things, how better I would have been for, you know, someone or other people just in my life. So no, say it. Like, somebody needs to hear it. Somebody is thinking it and isn't bold. I don't want to call it man enough, but aren't bold enough, you know, to speak on it, you know, or maybe they want to change, don't know how to, don't know where to start. You know what I mean? Don't know what to look for. So
I mean, that's why I encourage therapy, and that's why I encourage, you know, finding you a partner that supports you and that will listen to you and wants to support you. Because, you know, like for me, I can talk about myself. I got abused as a kid, and so, you know, as I grew, and even in that time, you know, I understood that it wasn't because my mama didn't love me. She showed me that she loved me. I couldn't understand why she was abusive, but later I began to understand that it was because of her pain. That was her response to trauma. I used to hear my uncles and everybody talk about how she would beat up people in the neighborhood. And then when she got older, I would hear about her always fighting. So I'm like, my mama always fighting. That was her response when she was sad or when she was hurt or when she felt afraid. You know what I'm saying? And so then I began to say, okay, well, I forgive my mama. I love my mama. We got a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't affectionate with me as a kid, so I never knew affection. And so then fast forward, and this may help somebody. I talked about this a little bit on my page, but then fast forward, right? Now I'm in a relationship with somebody who is very affectionate. And they touch me and I'm drawing back. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't know how to express, because I don't know what's going on, my body never forgot that trauma. Even though in my mind I forgave my mama, my body still remembered that trauma. So I'm drawing back. I'm rejecting it And what's being told to me is, oh, you ain't affectionate. Oh, you don't love me. Oh, you don't care. You don't want to be with me. You don't really like me. And now it's conflict in my mind because I'm like, dang, I really do. I don't know how to tell you I do. I don't know why I draw back. So then now I'm good. I'm just gonna accept the label of, okay, I just don't like affection. Even though it actually feel good to me, I'm like, nah, I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say, like, that's why I encourage therapy and things like that, because now you're able to get to the root of these issues. You're able to understand these things. God actually revealed that to me. But
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? All of this that I'm explaining right now, I prayed it. You know what I'm saying? And he revealed it to me, and it was dropped in my spirit. But still, like, I gained more understanding of it through therapy and talking to people and understanding, you know what I'm saying, what it was, and kind of find out I actually do like affection. It was just a barrier that my body had created just from the trauma, you know what I'm saying? And that's just something that now, so when I get with somebody, now I'm able to communicate that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it went out. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. You still there.
Okay, good. It went out for a second. Okay.
Yes, so I
My
was saying.
bad.
So like now, because I understand that, I'm able to express that and communicate that with a partner, and they're able to understand that, okay, that's not really rejection. Because on the flip side, they might have been rejected, you know what I'm saying, by their parent. They might have been pushed away. They might have not saw affection in the house. So I mean, we could really go on with that. But I mean, like, that's why it's so important. And this is a very, very, very important space that I think all people should visit, especially if you're gonna do a partnership with somebody, be in a partnership with somebody, you know what I'm saying, or marriage, you know what I mean, all this stuff. Like, this is very important.
No. Yeah, I love it. I love everything you're talking. I feel like you're helping people out there. Like, I hope every single man on my timeline is like tuned in, because they definitely need to listen. I love that it's coming like from another Black man, because like it's one thing, like, just even as a teacher, and I have like mainly boys, like they used to your aunt, your mama, they used to that, right? But when like you get, I don't know what it is about men, but it's just like it's like a type of it's that y'all draw another type of respect, and I don't know if it's because like they don't see it a lot, or we don't see it a lot, especially not like feelings or anything like that, because my dad is not like, and like we'll call, he's light skinned, so we'll call him, oh, you acting light skinned, but he showed like this much emotion, just even like those type of jokes kind of really let you know the difference in our community when it comes to the things we talk about.
And there's so many different reasons why men don't show it. I even stopped showing it because when I did show it, people would take advantage of it. And so it was an indicator of, or it would put off to some that, okay, he's weak or he's vulnerable right now, so let me take advantage of him. And so I decided that if I don't show you where I'm at, then you won't be able to take advantage of me. And that's just a lot of men hurting. But I think the biggest thing that, the reason why I'm able to reach other men is because when I talk, they feel seen. And that's really what we want. Like, we talk about, we don't need validation. We don't care about none of this stuff, but we all just want to be seen. We all just want to be heard and value. We want the same things that women want. You know what I'm saying? We might not want it to look the same way or be presented the same way.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, we want those
I'm
things.
with you.
And then
No, I definitely
I'm a
understand.
big guy too. Like, I ain't the biggest in the world, but I'm like, I'm like 6'4", 270, and I'm going in a room talking about feelings. Oh, this hurt me. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh snap, but they respect it though. Like, that's real. That's a real flex. That's a real flex for me to go in a room, tell you how I feel, and be confident that. And then people still understand, like, oh, nah, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing soft about them, ain't nothing weak about them, you know what I mean? Because it's not weak. It's a very, very powerful strength to have, to be vulnerable. Like,
It really is. And it takes a lot to be vulnerable too, because as soon as you like, or like, okay, for me as a woman, like I feel like as soon, because I have a hard time being vulnerable. That this might not be a thing for like all women, but for me, I have a hard time being vulnerable. So as soon as I'm vulnerable, and then I feel like you ain't responding the way I want to, it's like, oh, guard up.
Yeah,
See,
I
I
mean, that's
tried,
true
you know.
though. But do you look for that though? I feel like sometimes we go in that situation looking for them to reject it though, like looking for them to
Yeah,
be.
and I think at times I do though, because it kind of goes back to the um I feel like everything just points straight back to our childhood, but just me growing up in like Anderson, it was kind of rough around the edges, so I fought a lot, like, oh, she thinks she cute, oh, she pigeon toe, oh, she walked like this. So I'm constantly like, if somebody be my friend one day, I can go to school, they're not my friend no more, right? So now I'm having to defend myself. People want to fight me for no real reason. So as I got older, and I remember in college, I was like, why am I still like dealing with stuff that I went through in ninth grade? Like,
Mhm.
I don't care. And then I had to be like, yeah, you do. Like, and it was rejection. It was the fear of being rejected and having to always defend myself. So
Yeah.
I couldn't let anybody in because I just feel like I always had to fight for everything, you know?
Yeah, I do know. And I think in those spaces we're more committed to that pain. Like we're very committed to it. And
We
like,
can't be.
yeah, because like it's like, dang, I don't want to feel this again, but I'm not letting anybody in. So I'm still being affected by it. I'm still allowing it
Mhm.
to have the power to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So it's man, like what you just said is real. I feel that for real. Like that, yeah, that's real.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, this has been such a good conversation.
Oh yeah.
It has been
Oh, you
such
know
a
the
good
vibes though. You
conversation.
already know. You ain't expect nothing less. I know I didn't. I knew it was
I
gonna,
really didn't, because after our first conversation, I was like, yes,
yeah.
to the growth and the healing. I love it. I love to, like, it doesn't matter what it is, like, from it could be like an elementary child to and a very old man. I just love everything about Black men and them standing their truth, because I feel like as women, like, we need y'all to lean on, and y'all need to be the healthiest to guide us. I really feel like a man is supposed to facilitate a woman's environment. You know what I
Mm.
mean? He's supposed to like cultivate and help her grow. But you can't help me grow if you're like broken, all these little weeds popping through. So you got to get right so you can help me, you know?
Who gonna help him heal though? Who gonna help that man heal?
Roderick Byers is you out here. You doing it. You bringing awareness to it. You
I am,
helping men
but
heal.
the women have to help too though. We all gotta help one
That's
another.
true. That's
Gotta
true. I
help.
was listening to this Miles Monroe, like his old pastor, and he was saying how women can build things up with their hands and tear things down with their mouths. And
Yeah,
I was like, oh, knocking on
that's
my door.
good. I, man, I could go all day about that. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the same way a woman picks looks and picks a man, I feel like men need to do the same thing, because I just don't understand how, like, what we can see in a woman, a man can't see sometimes. Like, I might be talking
What
to
you
a
mean?
homeboy, I'm like, bruh, she's like a manipulator. Like, just like, okay, for that example, like maybe a woman is doing something and I can see it, he can't see it. But I feel like a lot of times when we can't see things, it's because it's that pain or that brokenness in the way. So I feel like y'all need to have y'all list too. The same way we got a list of what
I,
we want, y'all need to have that same list.
I don't know why you think we don't. I don't know where you got that from.
I don't
Men
know. I'm just
definitely,
assuming.
men definitely have a list. I think
Well,
sometimes
why I feel like some dudes be settling? Maybe they ain't got the right. What's on their
because
list?
you got to think as a man, like, right, we can find something and build something and create something. So we're willing to pick up a project. Like you got, like, we do that in our lives. Like we take a project and we make something out of nothing. Not
Mhm.
calling women nothing, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get what you're
That's
saying.
not what I'm
Hmm.
saying. But we're willing to take certain things, you know what I'm saying, and try to build it and try to make it. into something else, like to try to improve it, because that's just what we do. Like we do that all the time. But the biggest thing, like women don't even understand, like really a man can do. I don't want to get too deep into all this because I ain't trying to, I don't want to trigger people, and you know what I'm saying. But like,
say
it. Men can really, men can really do just about everything for themselves. Like, I can cook, I can clean, I make my own money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need assistance with none of that stuff. You know what I mean? What I really want is support, like peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
really what most men value. Like it ain't even the things that women think. Like when we look for a partner, somebody to really build with, somebody who's gonna support me, somebody that I know gonna be for me, and that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna have my back. You know what I'm saying? And help me.
Yeah.
It's not gonna tear me down. That's not gonna talk bad about me when I fall short, but it's gonna speak
Mm-hmm.
life to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what a real man wants. Like, we don't care about. Like, yeah, we like the. Well, every man isn't the same. Every man doesn't want the same thing, but like
Mm-hmm.
you'd be surprised if you actually ask. It ain't what women think, like the crazy bodies and all that stuff. Like we understand all that. That's out here. You know what I'm saying? Like you see
Yeah.
that all the time. You're gonna see that on IG. You're gonna see that at the mall. You're gonna see that in your neighborhood, whatever. But can you provide me support, and can you give me peace? Like, do you help me? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's really what men really want. So it don't
I
even
mean,
some of y'all, well, I ain't gonna say y'all, some
I,
women, some women disqualify themselves by, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff men don't even really care about like that. Like
that's
don't
true.
care about.
That's true. I mean, in Genesis, I mean, Eve was called the helper. She was the helper. Okay, so that makes sense to me. All right, and as me as a woman, that's what I strive for. Like to be the best me, so that whenever my husband does come, like I can help him, and I've already have everything going on for myself. I can
Right.
submit to his vision or whatever, so we don't have to divide, and I can help him get what he needs done.
Right.
Period.
And he'll help you and he'll build you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no dictatorship. Like it ain't no
Mm-hmm.
it's my way. No, like that's not what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Yeah.
real man is not trying to do that. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
ain't no, oh, you gotta serve me, you do what I say, I'm the man of the house. No, that's not it. Like we together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm only as strong as the support that I have and the woman that's behind me. Like I know that right now at my highest potential, I can be great, right? Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
great, but not as great as I will be when I have that. You know what I'm saying? When I find my wife, when I find that good thing that's gonna add something to me that nothing else can. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So like it ain't no,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it always seems like it's a beef or something, like we gotta be against each other. Like, no, we on the same team. We supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Like we on the same team. Like
Ah,
we hit me for that's like
yeah.
the quarterback getting hit by his own running back. Like, what you hitting me for? You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
What?
Dang.
What you doing? I mean, that's just how I feel.
No, I definitely agree. But I'm so glad we had this conversation. We talked about a lot of things, and I
Yeah.
just feel like it was all things that need to be talked about. So, is there anything that you would like to conclude with all things mental health? Any encouraging words? Anything?
Yeah, I just want to say, that anybody can reach out to me, man. Like I'm accessible, I'm available. I ain't on no crazy stuff now. I do have discernment, but I just gotta put that out there. Like,
I love that.
yeah,
Oh my God, I love it. Yes to
that's
the
key though,
discernment.
and that's another thing that I did want to say about vulnerability. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe you should go in every room and tell everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to be
Hmm.
wise and have discernment of knowing when to speak and when not to speak,
Right.
and what to speak on and what not to speak on. So I definitely wanted to say that. But yeah, like, I'm available. Any men, you know what I'm saying? If you want to talk, man, if you got a question or something you just want to get off your chest, like I'm here for all that. Um, so
What's
yeah,
your
that's
Instagram? How can they reach you?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Roderick D Byers. That's RODERICKDBYERS. But I'm sure you're gonna tag it. You better
I
tag.
am. I am.
But yeah, follow me, man, because I'm really about to do some great things, especially in the community on my page.
Yes.
I've been chilling with it, but I'm really finna turn up. You know what I'm saying? So
It's
I'm
that
excited.
season. It's birthing season.
Right. It's my time. Like it's lit.
It is.
It's my time.
Yes.
It's your
Okay.
time.
Well, I'm ready. I'm already walking like it is. I'm just ready for my film to get in the right hands. That's why I tell everybody. I remember how you treated me when I'm walking down my red carpet.
Facts. Hey, you gotta be that today. You know what I'm saying? That's what I challenge myself with. Gotta be whoever you are, whoever you believe that God has made you to be that right now. Not when the fame come, not when the notoriety and none of that stuff, the money, the status, the accolades, not all any of that, because your foundation, you don't want your foundation to be on that stuff. So be it right now. Be it today. Be that while you broke, or you know what I'm saying, or why they hating on you, or what when they don't see
Yeah.
the vision. You know what I'm saying? Be that right now.
Being like a king and a queen.
Yeah.
So we
Facts.
can sustain it.
Facts.
But our time has come to an end. Make sure y'all tune into Phoenix on Friday, November 12th at 12 a.m. And y'all leave all the feedback, all the criticism.
Yes.
Okay. And make sure you guys follow my good friend Roderick. And we will see you all next time.
Appreciate you.